Fight. Inside the Wildest Battle for the White House by Jonathan Allen and Amie Parnes is a gripping account of the 2024 U.S. presidential election, detailing the chaotic campaigns of Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and Donald Trump. Published in April 2025, it explores the internal struggles, strategic missteps, and raw political ambition that define this historic contest. In this video, we'll deliver a comprehensive and precise summary of the book, unpacking its key revelations, arguments, and behind-the-scenes drama so thoroughly that you'll capture the full story without needing to read the original text. Picture a political arena where the air is thick with desperation. Egos clash like tectonic plates, and every move feels like a high-stakes gamble. This is the world Jonathan Allen and Amie Parnes plunge us into with Fight, a book that doesn't just recount the 2024 election, it dissects it with surgical precision, revealing the blood, sweat, and backstabbing that shaped one of America's most consequential contests. Drawing on over 150 insider interviews, the authors pull back the curtain on a campaign season that forced a sitting president to abandon his re-election bid, saw a former president dodge felony convictions and assassination attempts, and thrust a vice president into a frantic 107-day sprint for the White House. The ride was so wild, they write, that it drove Donald Trump into the White House and Democrats into the wilderness. Let's step into the chaos and unpack the story that left a nation reeling. The book's heart is its brutal post-mortem of Joe Biden's unraveling campaign, a saga Allen and Parnes call the unmaking of the president. By 2023, Biden's age, past 80, was no longer a whisper but a scream among his aides. He had difficulty stringing together a coherent sentence, the authors note. Yet his inner circle, including wife Jill and son Hunter, clung to power like shipwreck survivors to driftwood. Nobody walks away from this. Longtime aide Mike Donilon reportedly told a prominent Democrat. No one walks away from the House, the plane, the helicopter. The refusal to confront Biden's decline set the stage for disaster. As early as 2023, Democratic National Committee officials held hush-hush talks to plan for a scenario where Biden couldn't run, even drafting contingency rules. Some aides, like Harris's communications director Jamal Simmons, went further, creating a death pool roster of judges who might swear Harris in if Biden died in office. It shows what we had to do to prepare with the unique circumstances we had, one official admitted, an 80-plus-year-old president who was running. The turning point came on June 27, 2024, in Atlanta, when Biden faced Trump in a debate that Allen and Parnes describe as perhaps the most disastrous display in history. Biden's performance was so halting that Nancy Pelosi, watching from her seven-figure Georgetown condo, had urged him to avoid the debate altogether. Afterward, panic gripped the party. She actually was worried when people were panicking the night of the debate, saying, "Oh my God, it's going to be her," a source close to Pelosi revealed. Biden's aides scrambled, accusing donors of pushing their own agendas. It all sounded like a serial killer's conspiracy theory, the authors write, capturing the paranoia. Top aides aggressively warned that forcing Biden out would lead to the mistake of nominating Harris, a figure many in the party, including Barack Obama and Pelosi, doubted could beat Trump. Yet Biden's stubbornness, fueled by naked egotism, delayed his exit until July, tearing his party asunder and leaving destroyed personal relationships in his wake. When Biden finally stepped aside, he endorsed Harris, but as Allen and Parnes argue, kneecapped her by demanding unprecedented loyalty. Harris, already isolated and terrified of facing the press, inherited a badly listing ship. Her 107-day campaign was a whirlwind of missteps and missed opportunities. She didn't adequately explain her reason for running. The authors critique, noting her inability to distance herself from Biden's unpopular record. Harris had bested Trump in their debate, but memory of that triumph faded swiftly. Her selection as Biden's running mate in 2020, driven by the post-George Floyd push for identity politics, had always been contentious. Jill Biden opposed it, and Obama and Pelosi lacked faith. Biden should never have sought re-election, Allen and Parnes assert, and his selection of Harris as his running mate was a mistake from the start. On the other side, Trump's campaign was a masterclass in resilience. Despite felony convictions and 2 assassination attempts, He tapped into a deep vein of dissatisfaction with the direction of the country. Allen and Parnes don't shy away from his flaws, but highlight his strategic edge. Trump overcame voters' concerns about his personal flaws. They write, by focusing on economic frustration and cultural disconnect. His primaries were a comical walkover, losing only Vermont and D.C., even as he juggled courtrooms. His running mate search and outreach to Gen Z bros weren't revelatory, but they kept him in the cultural conversation. The authors contrast Trump's raw connection with voters to the Democrats' failure to counter the perception that Biden's economic prosperity was a lie. Democrats struggled to connect with an electorate that felt gaslit. They note a fatal disconnect. The book's strength lies in its fly-on-the-wall details, painting a vivid picture of a campaign defined by clawing, backstabbing, and rabble-rousing. Take the scene at a New Jersey reception post-debate, where Biden's aides taped fluorescent, colorful breadcrumbs on the carpet to guide him. He knows to look for that, an aide explained, a humiliating image for the leader of the free world. Or the moment Harris pined for Obama's endorsement, stung by a 2009 snub when she was denied VIP access at his Chicago celebration. These anecdotes, drawn from insider accounts, give Fight its pulse, making you feel the weight of every decision. At every turn, the combatants went for the jugular. The authors write, whether battling rivals across party lines or within their own camps. Allen and Parnes don't just chronicle, they judge. Their verdict is scathing. Biden's ego and Harris's lack of substance didn't hand Trump the presidency, but they prevented themselves from being what America needed. The book critiques the Democratic Party's broader failures, from its reliance on identity politics to its inability to read the room. Yet it's not without flaws. Some reviewers, like those at the Washington Post, argue it focuses too much on horse race drama over substantive issues. Others note occasional lapses into lazy stereotypes, like invoking mean girls to describe assertive women. Still, the author's sober writing and solid sourcing, as The Guardian praises, make Fight a definitive account. There's plenty of the sort of fly-on-the-wall detail from both Republican and Democratic camps, they add, ensuring readers feel the election's raw intensity. As the dust settles, Fight leaves you with a sobering truth. Elections are won and lost not just on policy, but on human frailty. Biden's refusal to let go, Harris's struggle to define herself, and Trump's relentless opportunism shaped a contest that felt Shakespearean in its drama. The history-making 2024 presidential election is a political saga of Shakespearean proportions, Allen and Parnes conclude, and their book captures every twist. You walk away understanding not just what happened, but why, and how the echoes of 2024 will shape America's future.